is lifted into center field. Base hit. Smith is in. 1 out and 1 on. Blair makes the catch. Drive to center. Smith taking around second. Now holding there. By him, but Blair the runner goes, the throw down, stolen base. Blair moves to second. Deep to right field. The hood back. It's a home run. Griffin makes the play. Good play by Doug Griffin. 2-0. Long drive to center field. And this one is long gone, a home run. Put on quite a show today in batting practice. Hood at 286. No homers and 3 runs batted in. Playing today, Billy Canigliaro is back in Boston on military duty. Fly ball to center. Again, Blair going back. And he makes the great catch. Tremendous catch by Blair in center. Batting 277. Foul ball. Foul over. Nice catch. Griffin fouls out to the first baseman. In the second, 1 run on Scott's homer, and nobody left on. After 1 1/2, Baltimore is in front 3-1. Robinson it Powell. Strike three. Blair strikes out. The fourth strikeout for Frank Robinson's 3-run homer. George Scott has a solo homer. Has tried to pull the outside pitch, grounding to Johnson. Petroselli is up. He struck out in the first. And that is looped into center field for a base hit. Rico is on. That's the third Red Sox hit. Full count. And a base hit for Scotty in the right center field. Rico going to third. Here comes a throw. It's cut off at shortstop by Belanger, and Rico's in at third base. The Red Sox have two base runners. Scott. Fastball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Petroselli at third base. Scott at first. 1 out. Curveball. Belanger to Johnson. They got 1, but not 2, and a run scored. Strike 3, he's out of there, and the side's out. That's number 4 for Palmer. 1 run for the Red Sox as they chip away at Jim. There were 2 hits and 1 man left. And after 3 1/2 innings, it's Baltimore 3, the Red Sox. Tomorrow night at Fenway Park. Bill Lee will face Casey Cox tomorrow night at 7:30. Strike. The slow upbring of the hand by the plate umpire, John Rice, miffs Powell a little bit. Thought it was a ball. 2-2.
That always happens when you're going a little bit bad. Anything close, or you take a attempted swing, it's always a strike. Well, if he was hitting 300, it'd have been a ball. That's the way it seems to work out.
I know that's the way it seems to hitters. 2-2. Very high. Reggie Smith over. Calling. 1 out. In the air to center field again. There's Reggie. 2 down. And Gary loses him after getting that ball in right where he wanted it for a couple of pitches on a full count and having them fouled off. Johnson walks. Base hit to center field. Johnson stops at second. 2 for 2 for Andy Etchebarren. Help himself. This will put the Orioles ahead by 4-2. A single for Palmer. Etchebarren stopping at second, and there's Nagy in the bullpen. Base hit to left side.
Reggie falls down, can't make the play, and into second base goes Belanger. Right now, the Orioles now are right back to their 3-run lead. Red Sox had pecked away at Palmer and had gotten 2 of them back, but now it's 5-2, and there goes Gary off to an early shower.
Mike Nagy
had Blair kind of all tightened up in there. 1-2. 2 outs. Runners at second and third. And he knocks it down. See if he can make the play. Nope, not in time. A run score. 6-2. Up and thrown to first. It was too late. A run-producing single for Blair. And there at third base is Belanger. 6-2 ball game. Just in the 4th inning. Runner going to second. Pavletich throwing, and a run that's going to score as they affect the double steal. Seven runs and 7 hits in the 3 2/3 innings he worked. Base hit to left. Here comes Yastrzemski. He's not going to make the throw. Blair scores. It's 8-2. Brooks gets back to first. On deck, Boog Powell. Running the bases well. Taking advantage of that ball's really tagged. And it's out of here. Home run. High and well hit into left. Mike Nagy decks Boog Powell. He comes close to Powell. Well, in fact, maybe you didn't see that, but first pitch to Boog Powell after Frank's home run, he is warned by the plate umpire, John Rice, and Eddie Casco comes out to talk to Rice. Now look at the pitch again that you missed. Boog really had to go down in a hurry, and he looked out at Nagy, said something to him. Casco talking now, as we're back live, to plate umpire Rice about the warning. Maybe Eddie talking about a ball getting away from Nagy, who's certainly has had his own troubles without getting into trouble with Boog Powell.
Yeah, that's right. And leave this guy sleep. He hasn't been hitting, but this happened the other night, if you recall, when Dobson came close to Dwayne Josephson. The next pitch he hit out of the ballpark. I hope that doesn't hold true here.
3-2.
All started with a base on balls. All these have been scored after 2 out, Ned.
Right.
Just can't tell what can happen in the ball game.
A walk to Dave Johnson, and then hits by the number 8 hitter, Enchbaron, and the pitcher, Palmer. And Griffin makes the play to finally retire this run. And nobody left on base at the end. Carl Yastrzemski out. He has flied to center and grounded out. Pretty well hit, but there is Rettenman and the left fielder. And he walks him. He loses Retton after going 0-2. The Orioles again have a run. First two men retired. Well, hits the left. If it stays in, it's a homer. It is a home run. Right into the upper deck. Davey Johnson. Three home runs for the Orioles today. Frank Robinson has two of them, and Johnson one. Griffin making the play. One out. Hard shot. Doug stayed with it. Etchebarren is finally retired. He went 2 for 2 before that. Joe hitting the ball twice well today. Once he was robbed by Blair. A bunt single, and he drove one that smacked by the box and knocked down in the fourth by Nagy, but he couldn't make a play. George Scott. One out. Brooks at first. Petroselli to Griffin. And a low throw dug out nicely by Scott for a double play. Number 4.
Tilling away from the left-handed batter. Kennedy over to Scott for the out. Kuntz makes the play. Against Jim Palmer. Smith has a single in 3 trips. Johnson to Powell. Out at first base, the umpire was looking to see Kunkel whether or not Powell had helped. Brooks Robinson to Powell. Because the Orioles had given him just 5 runs overall. 2-1 to Oakland, May 9th, 2-0 to the Red Sox. And then Washington beat him, he beat Washington 4-1 on his last start. He's rolling today. The applause is for Jim Palmer. He has 1 for 3 at the plate. Now it's 2 for 4. Palmer singles to left with 1 out. The only men who have not hit have been Powell Our next televised game will be Tuesday night with the Senators at Fenway. Long drive to right. And LaHood has Powell to Palmer. Fly to center. Fly ball, Robinson going back, and he can't get this one. Pavletich has homered by the Boston bullpen, and it is 12-3, Baltimore. Ground ball to Bellinger, and the ball game is over. Doug Griffin grounds to shortstop in the ninth. 1 run on the home run by Pavletich, and nobody